In this podcast episode, Alain de Botton delves into the intricacies of human emotions, relationships, and the patterns that often govern our lives. Drawing from his extensive experience as a philosopher and writer, he offers profound insights into how we can better understand and navigate our emotional landscapes. Alain begins by discussing the origins of our negative inner voices, suggesting that they are often external voices that have been internalized over time. He explains that as children, we absorb the language and emotional responses of those around us, particularly our caregivers. This process shapes how we speak to ourselves and how we perceive our worth. The inner critic, therefore, is not an inherent part of our identity, but rather a reflection of the voices we have encountered throughout our lives. He emphasizes the importance of recognizing these negative voices as learned behaviors rather than intrinsic truths. By understanding that these voices stem from external influences, we can begin to challenge and reframe them. This realization is crucial for anyone looking to break free from the shackles of self-doubt and negativity, as it allows for a more compassionate view of oneself. Alain draws a fascinating parallel between language acquisition and emotional development. Just as we learn to speak through exposure to language, we also learn to navigate our emotional lives through the experiences we encounter. He posits that the vocabulary we develop around emotions is essential for understanding and expressing our feelings. The more words we have to describe our emotional states, the better equipped we are to process and communicate them. This linguistic framework is vital for emotional growth. Alain notes that when we lack the words to articulate our feelings, we may struggle to understand them fully. By expanding our emotional vocabulary, we can better identify and address our feelings, leading to healthier emotional expression and improved relationships with ourselves and others. Alain acknowledges that changing our emotional patterns is a challenging endeavor. He likens this process to learning a new language, where progress can be slow and frustrating. Many people expect quick results after reading a self-help book or attending a few therapy sessions, but emotional change often requires sustained effort and patience. Alain encourages listeners to adopt a more realistic perspective on personal growth, recognizing that it is a gradual journey rather than an instant transformation. He also highlights the importance of self-compassion during this process. When we encounter setbacks or struggle to change, it is easy to become frustrated with ourselves. Alain reminds us that emotional growth is not linear and that it is essential to approach ourselves with kindness and understanding. By doing so, we create a more supportive environment for change to occur. The conversation shifts to the significance of vocabulary in self-discovery. Alain argues that having a rich emotional vocabulary allows us to better understand our feelings and experiences. He recalls his own experience of learning the word anxiety as a teenager, which opened up new avenues for self-exploration. By naming our emotions, we can begin to dissect and analyze them, leading to greater self-awareness. Alain emphasizes that therapy and friendships often serve as platforms for expanding our emotional vocabulary. When we share our experiences with others, they can help us articulate feelings we may not have been able to express on our own. This collaborative process of naming and understanding emotions is crucial for personal growth and healing. Alain introduces the concept of disassociation, explaining how it can serve as a coping mechanism for dealing with overwhelming emotions. When faced with difficult feelings, individuals may unconsciously detach from their emotional experiences, leading to a lack of awareness about what they are truly feeling. While this can provide temporary relief, it ultimately hinders emotional growth and understanding. He argues that the goal should be to cultivate a greater capacity for emotional awareness and connection. By learning to associate with our feelings rather than disassociate from them, we can develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and our emotional needs. This process requires courage and vulnerability, but it is essential for fostering healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life. Alain offers practical advice for those looking to heal their negative inner voices. He suggests starting by identifying these voices and understanding their origins. Through sentence completion exercises, individuals can uncover the beliefs and narratives that shape their self-talk. By recognizing that these negative voices are often rooted in external influences, we can begin to challenge and reframe them. He emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in this healing process. Rather than berating ourselves for having negative thoughts, we should approach them with curiosity and understanding. By doing so, we create space for growth and transformation, allowing ourselves to develop a more positive and supportive inner dialogue. Alain delves into the complexities of adult relationships, highlighting how our past experiences shape our present interactions. He explains that our attachment styles, formed during childhood, often dictate how we relate to others as adults. For example, individuals with anxious attachment styles may struggle with feelings of insecurity, while those with avoidant styles may find it challenging to connect emotionally. Understanding these patterns is crucial for fostering healthier relationships. Alain encourages individuals to explore their attachment styles and recognize how they influence their interactions with partners, friends, and family. By doing so, we can work towards breaking negative cycles and building more fulfilling connections. Continuing the discussion on relationships, Alain emphasizes the importance of emotional vocabulary in fostering healthy communication. He argues that the ability to articulate our feelings is essential for navigating conflicts and misunderstandings. When we can express our emotions clearly, we create an environment where both partners feel heard and validated. Alain also highlights the role of empathy in relationships. By understanding our partner's emotional landscape, we can respond with compassion and support. This mutual understanding fosters a deeper connection and helps to resolve conflicts more effectively. Ultimately, cultivating emotional vocabulary and empathy is key to building strong, resilient relationships. Alain discusses how our emotional patterns can significantly impact our decision-making processes. He explains that when we are unaware of our emotional triggers, we may make choices that are not in our best interest. For example, someone with an anxious attachment style may choose partners who reinforce their insecurities, perpetuating a cycle of dissatisfaction. By becoming more aware of our emotional patterns, we can make more informed decisions that align with our values and desires. Alain encourages listeners to reflect on their past choices and consider how their emotional states influence those decisions. This self-reflection can lead to greater clarity and empowerment in future choices. Throughout the conversation, Alain emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in the journey of personal growth. He argues that many individuals are overly critical of themselves, which can hinder their progress. By practicing self-compassion, we create a more supportive environment for change and healing. Alain encourages listeners to treat themselves with the same kindness and understanding they would offer a friend. This shift in perspective can help alleviate feelings of shame and inadequacy, allowing for a more positive and nurturing relationship with oneself. Ultimately, self-compassion is a vital component of emotional well-being and personal growth. Alain concludes the conversation by discussing the role of humor in coping with life's challenges. He argues that humor can serve as a powerful tool for navigating difficult emotions and situations. By finding the absurdity in our struggles, we can create space for laughter and lightness, even in the face of adversity. He highlights the importance of embracing our shared humanity and recognizing that we are all flawed and imperfect. This perspective allows us to approach life with a sense of playfulness and resilience, making it easier to navigate the ups and downs of existence. Ultimately, humor can be a source of comfort and connection, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles.